Welcome all to the weekly outlook. Boone here from EWPRO. Getting straight into it, looking at the DXY on the daily. Like I've mentioned before, there is no real clear direction here. So we're looking at the lower time frames for direction. On the H4, we do have 3 down in here. It bounced off the 100 fib, but we don't have any bullish divergence, so there is a chance that we get more downside. The H1, it's still looking rather bullish in here. I wouldn't be surprised if we get another one up. Well, like I mentioned, this is looking very bullish in here for another one up in here. I wouldn't be surprised if we get another one up, but giving us even more bearish divergence, and then we come down and break this low. So you could, if you got a buy set up on the lower time frames, just scalp that to break this top, and then I'd be looking for a sell. Just to break this low here, because on the daily I am looking for this to come and break the low. I'm looking at this as 1, 2, 3 up in here as a correction, and then an A, a B, and a C coming down, breaking that low. Ideally, AU on the daily, sort of looking for a correction in here. We got this like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we can get 1, 2, 3, like I've mentioned in here, before we get that A complex correction, 333 or 335, and then a C up. So I'm not convinced we're going to go up and break the top from here at this stage. On the H4, we're not getting a bearish hidden here. We've just got the one wave down on the H4, so I'm really looking for a correction in here to come and break that low. On the H1, we are starting to get bearish divergence, so this wave up in here may not be over yet, so you'll have to be careful. But ideally, it comes down, breaks this low, and gives you a correction, and then you could look to sell to break that low. Other than that, it's sort of getting a sell set up here. It's really on the lower time frames, but you got an impulse down, you get an A, B, C in here, some sort of a correction, and then you get an A, B, C. From there, you'd have to be careful. If you're looking for the sell, you'd want to get in on the C up in here on the lower time frames and get into that, because it may just be a C down and give you another one up before it falls over, breaking the low. GU on the daily, this one's very similar as well. We still can get another one up in here on the lower time frames. I'm looking at that A, B, and a C up in here. We're sort of getting an extended wave up in this on this wave C. You can see here, I've been mentioning this for a few weeks here now. This is still looking rather bullish. We do have that bullish hidden divergence here, so I wouldn't be surprised if this does go up and break that top. I've been mentioning that for a couple of weeks now. We are looking for the buy. We didn't have the bullish divergence last week. Now we're starting to get the bullish divergence. We got a nice impulse up in here. This is definitely can look for a buy set up here. Wait for a nice correction. I'd be looking for something like this. Looking at the price action, we got a nice impulse up, an impulse down, impulse up. So I'd be looking at this as a correction, possibly an A, B, C up in here, and then you get an A, B, C, some sort of a flat before I'd look for the buy. If you're looking for the buy in here, you'll have to be careful because it may just come and break that top, take you out, give you that C down, and then go for you, you know. So just keep that in mind if you are looking for the buy. EU, oh, there's a lot of stuff on here. The stuff during the week on the lower time frames. So you can see from what we've been looking at, what I'm looking at here. Looking at all this as a correction that we get an A, a B, and a C up. We're looking at this A, B, C up in here, possibly up to that 100 fib. It is still looking rather bullish. It's very similar to GU. We are getting a bull hidden in here. So we got a nice impulse up. You look for this correction and then you look to buy just to go and break that top. It may not get to that daily 100 pip target, so you'll have to monitor it because this is quite, this wave here didn't really go very far. Definitely didn't get to the 100 fib of for the C up as of yet. We do have 3 down in here. So if you do get a buy setup, you can buy it. It's not really giving a very nice buy setup. And the reason I say that is because this is still looking, we got that like 1, 2, 3, like I showed on the higher time frame, but this here still looks very, it looks very corrective still. It may come down and break that low. You really want a nice setup at this stage. I don't see a very nice setup on it to buy. But yeah, if this does come down, break that low, will you start to look for buy setups to be buying here? You could on the lower time frames get it to break even at the break of that top, because like I said, it may just come break that top and then fall over on you, give you another lower low, and then go. And you, this is the low here now, so we do have like a 1, 2, 3 down in here. So I'll be looking for an A, B, C now. I'll be looking for upside. It's really on the lower time frames where I'm not convinced that it's over. As you can see, we're waiting for this time factor here. For this, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5th one down. We have a bear hidden here, so be very careful with the buy at this stage. Really like to see that 5th one down and then a buy set up on the lower time frames to buy. For the sell, you really got to go down onto the lower time frames. Really like to see this come down, break that low, and then give you a correction. If it gives you a correction in there, well, then you could look for a sell setup to go and break the low. Other than that, you have to be very careful because this can be some sort of a flat in here, and you get some sort of 1, 2, 3 in here, A, B, C, and you get another one up. That's why I really like to see, this very impulsive coming and breaking that low and then giving a correction, because that gives you more confidence that it's come down for that wave. 5 down in here. We're still waiting for this time factor though. So that's what I mean. You got to be careful because this can give you another one up in here. It can even give you another one up in here before it goes. So yeah, you'll have to be careful at this stage, whichever way you're trading. Really waiting for that time factor, and then I'll be looking for a sell in that wave 5 on the H4. GY on the daily. this still can, like, overall we have bearish divergence. We do have a possible bull hidden here. This low here hadn't been broken yet. So, this can either give us a very deep correction in here to this wave here and then fall over, or it goes up and breaks the top and that hidden divergence plays out. That's from during the week. We're looking to buy this. At this stage, I mean, you've missed a trade because it was during the week, but I'm looking for a correction up in here basically, and I'm looking for the buy because, like I just said, a bear hidden. That bull hidden. We either get a very deep correction in here, or it goes and breaks the top. So we were looking for the buy last week. Not so much in the weekly outlook, but in the room. And this was the correction here, as you can see. It did go up and break the top. We've got an A, B, C here. There still looks like this is still very much bullish, so we still can get some more up, and I wouldn't be surprised if we do. You can look to scalp this. Ideally, you got in on the lower time frames in here, where we did. This was a trade in here on the lower time frames to get that. But yeah, it looks very corrective. We have the bearish divergence. So if you're looking for the buy, it's risky. It is a risky trade. Yeah. For the sell, I'd really like to see an impulse down here breaking this low and then giving a correction and then looking to sell to break that low there. And then you'd be looking for an impulse up and a buy setup, correction and a buy setup. UY is very similar. This one doesn't have the bull hidden though. This is more of a sell once we get this correction. Overall, I'm looking at this like A, all this is a B, and we get that C down. Well, we're getting that C down. Like we've been looking at for quite some time. On the H4, we got a nice impulse down, so we're waiting for some sort of a correction. We don't know what sort of correction we're going to get in here, but yeah, I'm looking for a correction in here and then another one down. So if you are buying, you're buying into a correction, so it can be risky. You can see on the H1, it's still looking very much corrective. This in here looking very much corrective. May get some sort of a flat in here. It was some sort of 1, 2, 3, 4. The fifth one didn't go up and break the top, so it's become complex on the lower time frames. It's very similar to GY. You got to be careful with the buy. If you're looking for a buy in here, it can sort of be like 1, 2, 3 up, breaking the top, and then you get 1, 2, 3, some sort of a running or expanding flat, and then you get 1, 2, 3. So I dare say we'll get some sort of a correction like this. And again, we'll get another correction over here for another one up. Like I said, I'm looking for a 50 fib retrace of that whole move on the H4. So this, you're really sitting on the sideline waiting for the sell unless you're scalping the buys. Yeah. CAD didn't come up and break the top like I was hoping. If I quickly look at the whole picture on the daily, we were looking for that wave Z up here. It never went up and broke the top. We're still in this correction. It's very complex. But so we've just been looking at the lower time frames. The lower time frames, we were looking for a buy. We went over this at the time. Looking at this 333 complex correction. It did go up and break the top, so that's fine. This top here, so we got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. Now you're looking for a sell. You're looking for a sell, but you got to wait for a correction. So I'd be waiting for some sort of a correction, possibly back to that 50 fib, and then I'd be looking for a sell for at least an A, a B, and a C. And again, you can buy scalping the buys up to the 50 fib, but they're risky trades. So really, the safest way to do it is wait for the correction, see that it's corrective, and then you get a sell set up with your system, and then you can look for the sell. Until that really happens, you're really just sitting on the sideline and seeing if that happens, and then you get the sell set up for that C down. The Swissy, this come down a lot further than I thought it would. It's very deep. Ever since we got this one up in here, I've been looking for that B wave and then a C up. That is still possible. But this one, this correction in here is very deep to this A wave. So more than likely it'll just be an A, B, C, rather than, really taking off. We got that wave Z. We were looking for this wave Z down. It went a lot further than I said. Thought it would. We got 5 down. We lost all the bullish divergence in here, so I'd just be looking for a correction, and then possibly another one down breaking that low. On the H1, we've already got 5 up in here. We were looking for this, in the group, this wave 5 up. It hasn't quite got to the first target yet. I dare say it will, though, and more than likely get to the second target, that 161.8. It's really on the lower time frames, but yeah, I mean, I wouldn't, unless you're already in it. Unless you're already in it, I wouldn't go trying to buy this, even though it does look very corrective. It may not go far. So I'm already in it. So, ideally, if you're in it, you can look to add. But if you're not in it, you've already got the 5th one up. So, this 5th one up, it's broken the ending point of wave 3. This is looking rather bullish. Like I said, unless you're already in it, it is quite a risky trade because, we've already got the 5 up. It may just, this in here, it does look bullish, and I wouldn't be surprised if it breaks that top, but it may just break that top, up to the 123.6, and then, if you get a sell set up, nice impulse down and a correction, well, then you could sell to go and break the low. Yeah. EG, we're looking for any buy setup, like I've mentioned for a long time now. We've been waiting for all this, to finish on the lower time frames. It did finish, and we've got a nice impulse up now. There were setups on the lower time frames to buy. You're really waiting for the correction. You sort of got 3 up in here. You got this correction here, like 1, 2, 3. You're waiting for a wave 4, and then you could look for the wave 5 up. More than likely, we'll get a bull hidden in here, giving us more confidence in that buy for the wave 5. Yeah, you got to wait for the correction. You can see that this is looking very corrective. We got 3 up breaking the top. So I wouldn't be surprised we get some sort of an expanding flat. We got that like 1, 2, 3 just breaking that top. So then I'm looking at A, B, C. we're looking for a correction of similar size to this down here. So there still is the time factor, it still can give you more downside in here before it goes. Wait for that time factor to complete and then start looking for the buy for that wave 5. WTI has come down and broken the low too. Like we do have like 1, 2, 3 in here now. So really would like to see like some sort of an A, B, C before we get A, B, C, some sort of a flat in here, and then you get that larger A, B, C. So this could be quite choppy for some time, and I expect it to be. H4, we do have the 5 down. We're getting upside. I mean, you've really missed the buy. If you're looking to buy this, you've missed the buy, and it was on the lower time frames. I'll quickly show you the buy that we were looking at. I'm not going to go over exactly how we get in. It's even on the lower time frames than this, but we got an impulse up, correction, breakout of the trend line in here, and this is your buy in here for this. So you've really missed the trade. To get in now, you got to wait for a correction. You'd be looking for like 1, 2, 3. You'd be waiting for a wave 4, and then you could trade the wave 5 up. You have to wait for this correction. If you try and buy up here, you'll get cut to pieces. Wait for the correction. More than likely, it will give a bull hidden in here, like in here. So wait for that. Wait for the correction, similar size to this over here, and then look for the buy. This is quite sharp, so this may be the B wave, and we get an A, a B, and a C in here, some sort of a larger flat before you get 1, 2, 3. But yeah, there's really there is no sell set up, and I wouldn't be buying up here on the M15. You can see we got all that bearish divergence, so I wouldn't be looking for the sell. Yeah, for the sell, you really want wherever this ends to give you a nice impulse down and a correction, and then you could look for at least 3 down. Until that happens, there is no sell, and like I said, with all that bearish divergence there, I wouldn't be attempting a buy. Wait for that wave 4 on the H1 and then trade that wave 5 up. So gold, we got the 3 up. Sorry, we got the 5 up now. It hasn't quite hit out. It was very close to that 123.6. We've gone up and broken the top of the ending point of wave Y. So we're in that wave Z. But on the lower time frames, like I've mentioned, there is still possibly more upside in this. We didn't get that wave 5 up. We got that 1, 2, 3, 4. We had that bull hidden there. It become very deep to this move, this wave down in here, but it didn't actually break the top. So we don't have a wave 5 yet. So it's going to be difficult to trade now. On the lower time frames, I think it's a sell. Just have to check. We have broken this low in here. We have broken this low here, taking out the possible bull hidden. But we've got 1, 2, 3. Probably get a wave 4 in here and a wave 5 up in here on the lower time frames before we get like an A, B, C. So yeah, it's going to be difficult to trade for a while. Silver, we never got the wave set up. It is still possible, but yeah, it's looking less and less likely. Like gold gave us that 5th one up, breaking the top, whereas silver hasn't. This is looking more like a buy on the lower time frames, though. Starting to get all the bullish divergence. So, you know, and on the lower time frames, it's a buy. You know, it's even on the lower time frames than this, but we get a nice impulse up in here, and you're getting a correction. So you could look for at least 3 up, like an A, B, C. Get it to break even at the break of that top, and see how far it goes. Bitcoin never gave us. Bitcoin was very similar to silver. It never gave us that fifth one up. We were looking for the fifth wave up in here. It never broke the ending point of wave Y. We do have bullish divergence in here now on this time frame. You've got to be very careful with this. Very careful. Because I can't really even go into it, or else I'll give too much away. But I wouldn't be surprised if we get a correction in here, and it may be quite deep, and then we get another one up in here before we get some sort of an A, a B, and a C down. We have a possible bear hidden here, you know. So, you know, for the buy, you really need it to go and break that top and give you a correction, and then you can look for a buy. Other than that, you know, I mean, there was a buy in this. There was already a buy. You know, we're in a wave 3. Um, so I showed this in our group, but you know, we got like 1, 2, 3. You wait for the wave 4, and then you could trade a wave 5 up. Definitely want to be at break even at the break of that top, because more than likely, you know, this can come down, break the low. Wait for this correction here. If you're looking for the buy, you can buy that. Then wait for a nice impulse down and a sell setup, and you could look for a sell. S&P 500, you know, we've been waiting for this. Like, we got the 5 up in here now. We do have a possible bull hidden here. So this can go up and break that top. I'd be looking at like an 1, 2, 3, get a wave 4 in here, and then you get a possible wave 5 down. And then if you got the buy set up, you look for that buy to go and break the top with that bull hidden. Because I dare say, you know, we'll get a bear hidden here for that wave 5 down. Ideally, you get like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down, you know, and then you get bullish divergence, and then a bullish setup on the lower time frames. Then you look for that buy. At this stage, I don't believe it's ready, so you have to be careful with the buy at this stage. The only way, other than what I've just shown, if we don't get that wave 5 down, you really need to break this top and then get a correction. That's the safest way. Or else we get that bear hidden and you get into a trade and it falls over on you. S&P, oh sorry, AU 200. We got that A, B, C up to the 100 pip. It did eventually get up to that 123.6. Now we have a nice impulse down. So we're looking for, you know, we're looking for sells. Like I said last week, we're waiting for a correction. And this will be a very nice sell, I believe. You just got to wait for the correction. We're back to the 50 fib now. So wait for this correction to be over. We sort of got 3 in here on the lower time frames. If I just show you that. So I'm looking at 1, 2, 3. You wait for that wave 4. You can trade that wave 5 up, and then nice impulse down, bearish setup, and you can look for the sell to go and break the low. You got to wait for this wave 4 if you're looking for the wave 5 up. You got to wait for the correction. Don't go buying up here, especially at the 100 pip here. And this wave here may not be over yet. This wave in here may not be over. You got to wait for this wave to be over, wait for the wave 4, and then you trade the wave 5 up, and then you look for A, B, C. This one, the FTSE never broke the top, which I'm very surprised, because this was looking very bullish. It just broke out, never broke the top, and it comes straight back down. You virtually, I mean, it still is very much bullish, because all this does still look very much bullish. All this sort of got 3 down in here now. It still can go up and break that top. Not that I'd be buying it, but I mean, the buy was in here. When that trend line broke, you start to look for a buy setup. You may not have even got one in there on the lower time frames. So, and you more than likely definitely wouldn't have got a buy setup in here, because there is no correction. It's very impulsive down. I would be very skeptical looking for the buy. It's more like AU 200. We got a nice impulse down. This is looking rather corrective, so I'd be looking for at least 3 down. H1, it's very well. We got a flat in here, so if you get a sell set up, you definitely can look for a sell. It is giving bearish divergence as well in here, so we're getting some sort of an ABC. We got a nice impulse down. We're getting 1, 2, 3 up. If you get a sell set up, you definitely can look for that sell. And I'd be more interested in the sell than the buy, even though on that daily that top didn't get broken. Yeah, I'd still be looking for the sell. It's more of a sell, in my opinion. The DAX, we already had the bearish divergence. In here, it was still looking very bullish in here. It never went up and broke the top. Very similar. The FTSE never broke the top and then fell over. It doesn't mean that it can't go and break the top, but very, it's a risky trade. To buy, it's more of a sell, like the FTSE. Yeah. So I'd be looking at this here, like you get 1, 2, 3, you get a 4 and a 5 down in here. Wait for a bear hidden in here, and then if you got a sell set up on the lower time frames, I'd be looking to sell to break that low, basically. So that'll be it for the weekly outlook. I hope you enjoyed it. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you out there next week.